Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? Cup of coffee? Talk about some guitar stuff. This morning, I really want to just, I don't even know. I just want to hang out. I want to hang out with you guys for a second. The comments section over the last few days, especially on some of these videos on this channel, have really restored my, not restored because I don't lose faith in it, but been very encouraging about the about humanity in general. I think a lot of people will take a very negative, the world's such a terrible place and everybody on the internet is a jerk, and I don't believe that. I don't think that's the case. And there's a lot of very intelligent, very reasonable, very just very cool people who watch this channel and the other one, and really just like guitar stuff. And I think that's really, really cool. And so I was going to go through some of the comments. Of course, there's some people that are not. But even the folks that are trolling or are very cantankerous and argumentative about things, they're smart about something. I'm sure they are. You know, computer programming, video games. They're probably really good at video games that I don't know about. Eating Cheetos. They're good at something. And I'm really, it's just really cool. And of course, I'm kidding about that, but it's really cool. And so one of the things I want to do was go over a couple of comments that I find that really made me feel that way, and I wanted to share them with you. It's just pretty neat. All right, so let's see. This is the first one that made me think of this. I applaud you for the fact that you somehow, anybody, still come up with content to make which can entertain your core audience. Part of me was sad, like no real topic and insight from a genius of the industry. I am not. That is a misplaced compliment. But after a few chuckles, the engineer joke was funny. It set in how you make a video for your algorithm. Had to make a video for your algorithm and fan service today, and you were able to pump out a 30-minute video. And the fact that you are not exactly the number one chipper, fake smiler YouTuber, comments literally never changed you, and then you don't hide from them either. Same for your family. Great respect as always. I'm glad we have real discourse without letting the 12-year-olds or divorced cheater alcoholics ruin it for the rest of us who really do respect you in this space. I didn't see that before. Also heard you mentioning firearms, but the SIG gave me newfound respect. 226 is king. I have a 226 right here. I really like it. Okay, so I really like this comment because he gets it. He gets it. First of all, we should really discuss this. Doing things for the algorithm. Okay. The algorithm is not some big bad machine. The algorithm is a mirror. It basically, if you have clicked on something, on some apps like TikTok, if you stop scrolling for a particular amount of time, the algorithm knows. So this is not, the computer knows, we'll just say, the computer knows that you are interested in that thing. The reason you are shared or shown more of that thing is because you showed interest in it. It's not trying to do anything to you. So if you click on some sort of political post, even because you're mad at it, you're going to see something more like that. If you click on a video because you're mad at it, you are going to see more things like that. People accuse content creators of clickbait, but I hold no responsibility in your self-control or lack thereof to click on something that you are not interested in or that you are angry about. That is you. That's not me. Um, and so we don't make videos to feed the algorithm. Literally, I make videos that I'm interested in. Now, I will ask the internet from time to time what's going on trend wise, and where guitar players are going. Are we, what guitars are we interested in this month? Like what's, like that kind of thing. But I don't really ever, well, you can't feed the algorithm because I don't know what you're interested in. You know what you're interested in. So it's actually kind of impossible for me to feed the algorithm. Um, you feed the algorithm when you click on something, when you stop scrolling on something, when you comment on something, when you like something. I always tell people, and it's not the case with this person, but we'll just address the opposite side of this. I always tell people that the best thing you can do to hate a video is nothing. If you comment on it, you're just going to see more of it. If you like it, you're not going to like it because you hate it. If you watch it, you're just going to see more of it. If you comment on it, you're just going to see more of it. And people think that I hate you and I'm going to block you on the internet. You can't actually block somebody on YouTube. So for those of you that are trolly like that, you're only hurting yourself if this is something that you're not interested in. Just FYI, it's just an informational piece. I don't care. I appreciate it. Um, so as far as dryness of like sense of humor and stuff, it, to be honest with you, we're laughing and cutting up all day here. We got dogs running around. We got a grandbaby. We have a blast. Brianna texted me. She went to bed last night, and as she's going to bed, she's just like, whatever. I love you, Dad. I had a lot of fun at work today, and I was like, me too. It was really fun. We had a fun day at work. That might not come through on the videos sometimes because we're so technical about stuff, and we're trying to. And I think what happens is the viewers drive you in a direction because you need to be so accurate. If you misspeak about one little thing, there's just so much vitriol about that thing. Like, oh, you misspoke about a pot. Oh, you misspoke about the thickness of a guitar pick, or whatever. That's not a 70,000s guitar pick. Whatever it is. You didn't put that in metric just now. Like that kind of stuff. And so it literally drives me to sort of take things seriously because I want to make sure that I get things right. And when I don't, we need to address that. But it's very, very important to me to be accurate about stuff. And so a lot of times, because we're so technical here, I've always said that's one of the biggest mistakes I've made with the channel, with the big channel, is making it so technical that it forces me to have to do that. And I hate that. Like, I would rather honestly throw more stuff off the top of vans and drag guitars behind cars and blow stuff up and shoot at stuff. And, I would much rather do a lot more fun stuff like that and laugh and cut up. I mean, I wish we could be like the Whistling Diesel of guitar. If you know who he is, like, let's put triangle wheels on a four-wheeler and see what happens. I would love to be the guitar YouTuber that does that kind of stuff. But we just kind of gone down this road of being so technical. One of the things that I really appreciate in this comment too is that you recognize the family aspect of it. This is a family business. I hope my kids and my grandkids end up with it. We all work from home. So Leslie is in an office over there. She actually has another job. She works for a software company. But Brianna and I work in here and in that other room. And so it's a family business. All three of us are home all day long. And, people will say that we're fake and stuff, getting along on the internet and whatever, but no way, man. I love my life. I love my family. I love my wife. She is amazing. I was married before for 13 years. We've been married for almost 14. And I will say, I know what it means to be happily married, and I love it. It's awesome. And I think that's one of the things that makes me laugh about folks who make comments and you can just tell they're unhappy. Brianna will come in here and look over my shoulder and she's like, man, what is going on in that dude's life that makes him want to talk like that? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, but I feel bad for him. So thank you for recognizing thank you for recognizing the family. Somebody, and he also mentioned listening to real criticism. People think that criticism is, I noticed a thing I don't like, so you need to stop doing it. And that's not criticism. That's just, I don't know what that is, to be honest with you. You can't listen to criticism. Well, so if I tell you something that you don't agree with, or I tell you something that rubs you the wrong way, but it's true, then and you don't like that, and you expect me to stop doing it, that's not criticism. Criticism would be, hey, your focus is bouncing around a lot and it's really annoying. I'm like, oh, I know, I got to figure that out, and I will do what I can to figure it out. Criticism might be that I'm not a very good guitar player. You should get better guitar players for your demos. I agree. It's something that we've been trying to do for a while, but the logistics of getting somebody in here is very difficult. And I'm not a very good guitar player. And so, yes, like that's super constructive and I appreciate it. Cause yes, it's something that I want to do. Tangible, when you point out things that could be tangibly improved about the content, that's criticism. That's good criticism. Just bagging on somebody because you don't like them, that's just being a dumbass. Anyway, so I really appreciate folks like that. I really, really appreciate folks like that. Let's see. So what's the best modeling amp right now? General consensus. I'll ask you that. For me, it's Kemper. It's still Kemper. Now, I don't have an Axe Effects. I would like to get one. And I don't have a Quad Cortex either. I have friends who have all of them. And I think they continue to default back to the Kemper. The Quad Cortex apparently is very, very good. And I'm not... I can't speak to it because I don't have it. This is an interesting comment as well. And this gentleman is constantly in the comments being very... I'm not sure why he watches the channel because of the comments that he makes, but this one I really appreciated because he didn't get what we do. And then somebody replied to him who really got what we did. And so together, this is very helpful to me and you. So I'm going to share this with you. Because normally he's very negative, and this is intended to be negative, but I like this. If clicks are the goal, it seems to me the best way to get there is to move from one polarizing topic to the next, taking the apparent minority position and to argue it as smugly as possible. Okay, I really like this. I know he's intending to that's like a sarcastic, backhanded, not really compliment. But I appreciate it. So I want to talk about a couple of things here. First of all, clicks are not the goal. I don't get paid for clicks. Okay, I get paid when you buy pickups. That's how I make a living. So clicks don't for the sake of clicks. They don't, like, for example, if I make a video that gets 100,000 views, which I don't ever, because I talk about something and none of my products are in it and nobody goes to my website, I make $4 from YouTube, and that doesn't do me any good. The video yesterday only got 1,500 views, all about Stratocaster stuff, but we sold a couple of loaded pick guards as a result of it, and that's how I make a living, right? So clicks to me, for the sake of clicks, like especially on this channel, are not the goal. To move from one polarizing topic to the next, taking the apparent minority position. Okay, I I actually really like everything. Not everything, but I can appreciate the existence of basically all guitar gear, and I like to learn about all of it, even if it's not something I'm personally interested in buying for myself. So I don't really have there's no polarizing topic for me. You know, like even this Fender thing, um, for example, over the last couple of weeks, I'm genuinely interested in it because I manufacture parts, right? And I manufacture parts in the guitar space, and what guitars sell the most affect my business. So it's very important to me to understand it. And the reason we dove into it so deeply is because I actually do have uh, a fairly good, because of my manufacturing background, I have a fairly good grasp of IP law. And where I did not for like Europe, I have a friend who does. And so I'm able to you know, it's very important to me. And I'm just literally just sharing stuff with you that I feel is important. And so if I see something, okay, it might be a thing that's getting clicks as a result of where it is in the zeitgeist at the moment. However, it's not for that purpose. I just really, every video I make, I'm interested in. If I'm not interested in it, I don't make it. Period. Um, that's what really drives me. Let's talk about the issue or the term smugness, because um, a lot of people actually call me smug. And I think that's because words are important. And I think they don't understand the definition of the meaning of the word smug. And they don't know me like enough to understand me as a person. Those of you who know me personally, and I know there's going to be some in the comments of this video, um, will say that I'm not smug. They know that I'm not. Here's the definition of it: someone excessively self satisfied, complacent, or proud to an annoying degree. I'm actually none of those things. I am, you can ask my wife and daughter, I am self critical to the point of almost dangerous. Actually, for example, if we're slow, like let's say we go a couple days and we only sell a couple of pickups, I'm immediately like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what can I change? What can I improve? What can whatever? I am I am constantly self analyzing and trying to self improve. Um, Personality wise, as a father, as a husband, as a grandfather, you know, in the in the context of a religious community, as a shooter, as a guitar player, uh, trying to improve my handwriting actually right now. That's one of the projects that I'm on. So, and complacency is a situation where you're totally fine and you don't have to change anything. And I think that's a very dangerous place to be. That is a personality trait that is in nowhere in my vocabulary. Um, as a business person since I was 17 years old, I was just telling Leslie this the other day. I really love owning a business because I love the game. What I mean by that is I love having, for example, I've not made any money yet today. I don't think. I don't think we've sold any pickups. It's very early. I love getting up every day at zero and like like at $0, at zero accomplishments, like starting every day fresh and like the challenge of that day. I love that. I love the fact that we've not made a video yet. I don't know how that video did. We've not tried an idea on the laser. 3D printing something right now that I've never 3D printed before. I'm, I love starting the day with nothing every day. Like some people can't handle that. Leslie cannot handle that. She has to have a job. She has to know where her money's come from. She has to know where, right. She has to have the stability of that. I don't even like that. I like to wake up and say, how can I be better? Um, the only competition that I'm ever in is with myself. I don't compete with other businesses. I don't compete with, and people say, well, you're always in competition. No, they can do what they want to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. And I'm going to worry about how I support my family and how I have fun at work. Those are the things that matter to me. So complacency is like zero in my. So portraying that to others is smugness. I don't do that. Now, here's where I think the misunderstanding comes in. I am not afraid to say what needs to be said, no matter the consequences. If you don't watch my channel anymore, if you, and I will say it very matter of factly. Look, cheap guitar guys are freaking annoying. And they're snobs in the same way that expensive guitar guys are, only for cheap stuff. Okay? So to say that could sound very offensive to some, but it is a reality of personalities and communities. And like if you can see it if you're objective about it, right? So for me to say something, you're so smug. And I say things a lot of times without emotion and very dry. Which probably goes back to the earlier conversation we had about, keeping everything kind of, so even a lot of my opinions and stuff will come out very dry. It's not because I think less of anybody or anything like that. It's just like, look, this is just the way it is. I'm just going to tell you the way it is. That's why the podcast is called I'm Just Going to Say It, because I say that all the time, even here. I'm just going to say it. This is stupid. So yeah, I'm not complacent at all. I think people need to understand the words they're using before they, before they use them. And somebody said something less about clicks and more about maintaining the audience he has. If he's going for clicks, he would be doing this on the main channel with a higher production. Yes, that's why I don't do it. A main channel with higher production is meant for driving more traffic, and this channel is meant for the hardcore guys who want to hear what he has to say and spend more time. And this is a cost-effective and low-effort way to do it. Exactly. That's really what this is. And that's why I wanted to share this kind of whole little exchange here. And I just think it's super, super fun. Great video. Love the sarcasm. Here, hang on. And then there's a couple other things, and then I'll let you go for the day. But somebody said, nope, Smith & Wesson. I actually, so for those of you that don't know, I have a very serious fascination with history. Okay, I'm not a gun nut in the pejorative of that. I have a very serious fascination with history, especially war history, and how it relates to various cultures and how it affects over time, like thousands of years. So I have ancient weapons. That's why I'm a knife. I love knives and swords, and I have a bunch of swords. And I'm trying to do something in this other room where I'm trying to create like a museum experience where it's like a timeline from very early weapons all the way down to modern. And so everything that I collect in there is pretty strategic. I have a bunch of modern pistols and stuff that I like to take to the range and whatever, but because I have one bad eye, and so I'm not very good at like basketball or tennis or anything. And so, but I can shoot. I'm really good. I'm not like winning USPSA matches good, but I enjoy it, and I'm relatively good at it. So I collect I collect firearms with historical significance, stuff that's interesting to me. I don't. It's not like I have an arsenal or anything, or I don't bury bullets in the backyard or anything like that. I do believe the Earth is round, and that government is good for some things, like fire department. So anyway, yeah. So I'm not that guy, but I do enjoy. I do enjoy it. Um, what you're doing is called patronizing. Okay, this is another one where we should look at the definition of patronizing. Um, Being patronizing means behaving in a way that seems superficially kind or helpful, but is condescending. And how this manifests is unsolicited explanations, like offering unwanted remedial advice or hijacking a conversation to teach someone something they already know. Sounds like my comment section on a Tuesday. Um, Praising someone for a basic task in tone, usually reserved for some children, or oversimplifying things, uh, basic well known concepts or simple tasks as if the listener lacks the intelligence to grasp them. So, what we were doing in yesterday's video is not that at all. Obviously, that's called satire. And so, satire is where you're kind of making a point and having fun with it, sort of by the opposite of what it is. Anyway, that was an interesting comment. I think when folks use terms that are intended to be negative like that, I would recommend you look up the definition of them. It happens all the time. People will you're such and such, and I'm like, hey, remember that movie? I don't think that word means what you think it means. Was that Princess and the Bride? So yeah, there you go. Anyway, this was really fun, you guys. I love y'all. You're awesome. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry, this one got long again.